go. You've done well.
Shit.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Am I allowed to call this number?
Yeah, you don't call me. I'm in the middle of a boss battle. 2 seconds.
Okay.
You good though? You could. I mean, you could talk. I'm just like,
You should be occupied.
not pre. Oh, I'm gaming. Oh, you can talk though. But yeah, I told you you can call. Man. What you be having going on? But anyway, hey, I hope everything is good with you.
And it's been a ton of yesterday. And the thing that is great after the first couple of weeks.
What you mean with work?
And then some sudden promotion. I gave 13 some doctor so his medicine again. Um, yeah, in my study, we just been having some emotional issues and shit with about crying about his dad and then then like he told me he thinks he might be interested in boys and I cried for like 4 days straight.
Well, with a lot of stuff going
And then
on.
I found out he has a what they call it, a Discord,
Yeah.
and he was like talking to someone on there and I guess talking on robots and shit. So I think he's just being groomed by grown people and being confused. Because how he was talking and shit, it didn't make any sense. But my son required a lot of attention. He wants a lot of attention. And he wants to be liked, and he feels like he's going to be like the last human on earth who's not going to have anybody. Like, I just built his confidence up.
Yeah, I was about to say you're just gonna have to keep encouraging them.
And
Yeah, well, like I said, with that, like I said, I know you're gonna be okay regardless, but you're just gonna have to support them best way you
I cried
can.
for like 4 days straight, like all like a baby. Had to take off the lips. I came to work, I was fine at work, and they sent me home and asked me if I wanted the day off and shit. Like, man, bullshit was crazy. I didn't think I would have that kind of reaction just because, like, how I grew up and stuff, but it was very shocking.
I
Very
mean,
shocking.
yeah, but it's life. Life is the
Yeah.
expected and it's the unexpected. Remember, as far as with my opinion, life is also 80%. 80% of what happens and 20% of how you react to it. Meaning that instead of worrying about the 80%, just try to worry about, like I say, what you can do as far as with trying to fix it. But bottom line, making sure that he's good mentally is the first order
Mm-hmm.
of business. Remember, I tell
I
anybody,
definitely put him back in therapy and stuff, so it's really
yeah, but
going
if
well.
is therapy what he want, or
He wants
that's
his dad. He wants his dad to treat him like a son. That's what he wants. And like I told him, like, I know exactly how you're feeling. But I don't know how it feels to be a little boy without their dad. I have my mom and I'm a little girl. So I had a rough time. Like I really did growing up and stuff. Because I had daddy issues and shit. But I
I
can't
grew up in a
feel what
foster
he's
home, so
feeling.
I can relate. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can't feel what he's feeling as a boy growing up to be a man. So I don't understand that. And I can imagine it being harder because one, you're his firstborn son and you were the only child for the longest time. So you want that connection and longing. And like I said, since he's a boy, I feel like it's different because that's his dad, and you don't feel loved by your dad. And as an
Yeah.
11-year-old, he's in middle school, going to puberty.
Yeah, but also I know, and that's 1,000% correct. But also remember where he at right now as a child and mind and mindset is also going to
Mm-hmm.
change as he continue to grow up. Whether he like it or not, you like it or not, what he think about and how his mindset is right now it will change as he grow up and learn and understand things. So all you
Yeah.
can do right now is understand, support, and again, above anything, make sure he good mentally.
That's what I
That would
definitely
be
did.
it.
I cried in private. No, I didn't cry in front of him. I mean, I cried when he was breaking down about his dad just because I knew how he felt about that. But I'm definitely supporting and stuff. Yeah. And then too, I was thinking like because like the kids are growing up at this time and there's no censorship for anything anymore.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. They try to
Schools that have been like
I make it seem like it's okay to be gay,
exactly.
um, or if he got gay friends or people that he
They
cool with. Because
do.
again,
That's all he talked about when he came home was like, oh yeah, this person's gay, this person's gay, this person's gay. And I'm like, why is this a topic? Like, why is this a?
yeah, the signs, that's
Mm-hmm.
signs. Because just a little short story, and just not about me, but as far as with my sister, before she came out, she used to tell me all type of stuff. People, lesbian activity going on in the female bathroom. From that
Mm-hmm.
to she saying she just walking in, to her being a lookout, to her being a part of it. So like it's always signs. You just like I say have to pay attention. So again, the more you talk about it, the more again I guess it was friends, and the more is more because of an interest. But
Mm-hmm.
even with my son, not a situation, but at the same time, I had to let him know what I brought up about the gay community was the HIV scenario.
Yep.
So I did let him know when I did boast upon it again. I did let him know the Lord about man supposed to be with a woman because you're supposed to procreate. You remember, if I didn't have sex with your mom, you wouldn't be here. That is the way of life. That's how things supposed to go. On top of that, I did explain to him, it's okay to have fantasies, it's okay to have desires, but acting on it is two different things. And again, when you act upon it, this is something that's high in that community because, AIDS or HIV, bottom line, is a gay man's disease, kind of. So you don't get
Yeah.
that you can't contract that from a woman. You contract that from man on man, and it's very high. And again, regardless of anything, you're talking about a short span in your life. So whether you want to act on it and or it be or possibly your fantasy is two different things. So I still made things clear. So like I said, also giving him the facts and the information out there. And other than that, he have to decide on it, himself. But it is two parts on it. You either fantasize about it or you act on it. If you act on it, this is the consequences or this is what you're risking. So
Mm-hmm. This is the life you have to live. And like I told him, I said, if you do choose to go that route, you being not just a black man, but you being an interracial baby, like mixed being, and then being in this world, being a man, and all this, like, so life. And if you can still live life, and that shit is going to
it's
be very
very,
difficult.
and again, it's not to me. It's not cause the cause doesn't justify the means. So as I said, a fantasy. Again, I understand it again, but the chances of his work being acted upon, no, because I'll tell you, like anybody else, men put on condoms because they don't want to get somebody pregnant. A woman will sit there and tell a man to put on a condom because they don't want to get somebody pregnant. A man on man type scenario, in my opinion, you have two men, ain't nobody getting pregnant, fuck them rubbers, and now you here you're going to possibly having to face consequences because of it. So regardless of what somebody tell you, again, you got the right to ask somebody for their my chart. If somebody act crazy about that, that's okay. Bottom line, that's a red flag. But at the end of the day, like I said, even at that age, as I tell my son, I'm not promoting sex. Um,
At all.
when
I
you
want you
get
to, I
when
want
you
you to
get
stay on the
older,
education.
yes, when you get older, when you get time for it again. That's why I said with my son, I'm honest. I understand you're curious, whether it's females, whether it's males, whether it's whatever that you might like. But like I said, you have fantasy side of it, and you have an act on side of it. You got the internet, you got other stuff that you can sit there and you can do. But I don't agree with you acting on. All I can say,
I told him, not I told him, I was telling other people, because a lot of my family and friends are like, well, it sounds like he's confused and all this stuff. But to me, I can see the confusion, but I don't feel like you can
It's
change your mind off of that. I feel like you will always be curious because, like,
there you
I can
go.
see
It's not
people.
yeah, it's not confusing. It's curiosity, and I'm sorry, like I said, not to cut you off, but at the same time, like I said, you cannot. Again, you take a kid to the store. What you think they're gonna do? Ask for candy. You can't get mad at a kid for asking for candy. That's stupid. He's a kid. He's growing again. The world, curiosity again. Like I said, we ain't grow up on a gay community like that. As far as we being a
Don't
shows,
ask, don't tell.
yeah, things is a little different. Everything is in the
It's
open.
everywhere.
It's
It's
everywhere.
everywhere.
So they make it seem like, hey, if this is what you like, hey, it's cool versus, anything else. So at the same time, they're going to have a little more curiosity. But as they grow up, the thoughts that he had, he probably not going to have. At the end of the day, like I said,
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people were reassuring me on that. It's
oh,
just, I just, like I was saying, I just, because like, like as a child, I never in my, like growing up, I never was like interested in girls. I never had no interest ever, even after being a female. So like to me, in my mindset, I'm like, he's always gonna be curious about that. Me. So I'm like to hear him describe, like he had a whole type and everything. Like to hear him describe that, I'm just like, I feel like he will always be curious. Like I can't
yeah,
ever
and
understand.
even if it's him possibly acting on it and realizing that he don't like it. I mean, whatever, like I said, a person decide to do, it's nothing that you can do to stop him. But your job as a parent is to let him know what the consequences is, and to bottom line use protection. At the end of the day, because of the age and the situation, we're not talking about any act at this particular time. You're talking about a fantasy or curiosity. Like I said, it's two different things. But all you can do as a parent, like I said, is just push, like I said, the facts and the knowledge on him so he understands. And like I said, life just have to life from there. Whether it's 2 years from now, 3 years from now, whatever the case is. But like I said, regardless of anything, I'm gonna love my kids for what they are, and even not even go crazy about it. But you have people like Jeffrey Dahmer or people that's mass murdering and murdering people. What are the parents supposed to do but support their kid? They don't agree with what they doing, but as far as we're showing up to the court, they still making sure that they're okay or wanting them to be okay. What the fuck can you ask for parents? You get what I'm saying? Regardless of what the kid or the child is actually doing, we can only do but so much. So I know you know all of this, but just try to keep that in mind. Nothing is more important than, like I said, mental health at the end of the day, and letting him know what his consequences is and the options. That's your duty as a parent. So, but everything could be okay. Like I said, it's just like I say, him, like you said, puberty, all that other stuff, curiosity, and like I said, believe it or not, that's completely normal.
Yes, especially nowadays.
Yeah. So it's different if he's out there cutting puppies up, cutting himself. You know what I mean? Talking to a dog, got an imaginary friend. Like people really got to keep things in perspective. Like he ain't out there worshiping the devil. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everything that he's actually doing is fucking completely normal. But again, your job as a parent is not to judge, is to understand first and then get him the facts and the understanding of how life works because that's all you can do as a parent.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do.
I mean, I know that's exactly what you did, what you told me before I went into my rant.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. So
Then
like,
it was like three different topics. It was that, sexuality, then it was about his dad, then it was colorism, he was being darker than he is, everybody around him is dark.
Like I said,
Oh, baby.
you gotta let him know. Listen, you can't make somebody love you. You can't make somebody want to be around. They gotta want to be around. Does it hurt? Yes. Does it again? Does it that you know? Does it make you want to cry? Yes. You know what? That's completely normal. Because when again, if you step on a nail, what it's gonna hurt. Guess what? It might make you cry. Again, if something hurts you, it just might make you cry at the end of the day. Again, that's not the important. It's how you get over it, it's how you put yourself in the best position to not worry about it. And again, when his dad come around, if he comes around, and if he decides to let him in, that's gonna be completely up to him. But you know, he just gotta know, you know, this is a grown man. He's making his own decisions, and the fact that you're not a priority, you know, to him, his choice, and that's B, that's his fuck up. Because you're a wonderful child, you're a wonderful kid. I think the world of you. You know what I mean? Like I said, everything is gonna be okay whether he's here or not. I would try my best to to fill that void as far as with as much as I can do. But in the meantime, like I said, just know that you're going to be okay. You're going to be good without him, with or without him. And again, when he come around, he got to realize he missed out on an awesome kid, all his awesome time, all the stuff that he could have been involved in. And again, you got to let him know he has to live with that. And trust me, he will. Trust me.
Yeah, call his son. Just to call him, you know, you need to call the brother. Like, you have, remember, you have a brother too. My brother's not done getting mad. He's like, man,
Man,
don't
again,
call me. What's wrong?
I know your son awesome. May 3rd. But like I said, awesome, awesome sauce.
Saturday.
And again, I've been through a lot, as I said and told you before, with the sexual abuse with the woman, the white woman. From again me being in foster care, whatever that you go do doesn't determine who you are. It's whoever you decide. Whatever you decide. Your past does not define who you are. The shit that fuck up in your life, the bad shit that happened in your life, that do not define who you are. You define who you are. You define. Like I say, you just gotta keep pushing it. And like I said, that's facts. So the 13-year-old version might not get it, but that don't stop you as a parent from keep being, repetitive. The 16-year-old version might get it. The 15-year-old version might get it. The 17-year version, but trust me, as he learn, they get it. No, I know. I'm just sitting there saying, eventually, he'll get it. Remember how life is.
I've been beating this shit in his head for a long time because this is not new. We've been saying this and needing that kind of attention since he's been in kindergarten.